I never grew up into my 40s. Wish I did things differently. You sure? But you sure about that? If you did things differently, you wouldn't be who you are today, Nina. Let me see if I can turn on this camera around so you guys can see who you're talking to now. And move the. Let me put this light up here. Give me a little bit of brightness. Never regret what you've done in the past. Never regret it, I'm telling you. Because you wouldn't be who you are today, honestly. Nina, you wouldn't be that AI savvy person if something had changed in your life. You could have went somewhere else. You could have been an engineer, or you could have been a pilot. You could have been working at McDonald's. You know, you don't know, right? One little change can just change the whole trajectory. That's why I say don't regret anything. Don't regret anything you've done. You've learned from it, you've matured, and now you are who you are. And now we know who you are. Widescreen, baby. That's what I'm saying. Look at it. Widescreen, baby. Never take it for granted, guys. We're healthy. Anytime you think you're bad or you're off, you're really. Anytime you think that you feel like you have it really bad, take a look around and see what else everybody is going through. Take a look at some of the stuff that other people are going through. You understand what I'm saying? And then you realize it's not so bad. You realize it's not that bad after all. You understand? Some people are living on the streets. Well, you cheered me up. Listen, Nina, let me tell you something. We live in Canada. Wintertime, it gets cold. There's people living on the streets, and they don't know if they're going to get up in the morning because they're living in the cold. When wintertime comes and it's cold and they have nowhere to go, and they're sleeping under like 10 blankets while people are walking by aimlessly with their phones in their hand, not paying you any attention. It's like you don't exist. Do you know what that feels like? I don't know what that feels like. I don't ever want to know what that feels like. Meanwhile, you're in your home chilling, complaining about your bills, while this person doesn't even know when they're going to get their next meal. Don't know if they're going to wake up in the morning because it's so cold. They might freeze to death. You know what I mean? The family members have completely forgot about them. Yeah, so true. I know it is. It's sad. It is very sad. This is not like LA or a place where it's always hot. I don't ever want to know what that feels like either, Reds. Neither do I. And, you know, we have to have some compassion as human beings, and we're all trying to help. I just checked myself. Thank you. Good one, Desert. We have to have compassion, but the thing is, some people don't even want the help. I don't know if it's a mental thing or what it is. Some people don't even want you to help them. They'd rather just sit there and suffer. And I just don't get it. But maybe they're just not mentally capable of breaking down the situation and understanding the dangers that they're facing. Like I said, I lost my stepdad because he was drinking too much at one point, and they found him in a parking lot frozen to death. Okay? Imagine how his sons felt when they found out the information. Right? Well, my brothers because he's my stepdad, right? So you have to look at it that way. Imagine how his sons felt when they found that news out. Devastating. Okay? Devastating. Unexpected. And we have to brace for anything that's thrown at us. Yes, we have a lot of that in LA. Lots of homeless do not want to help, don't want to help. Yes. And the thing about LA is at least the weather's warm. The weather's warm. They can sleep at nighttime. I mean, you have to deal with a lot of other stuff. But over here, you don't know if you're going to wake up, honestly. Good morning, Q. How are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. We're just here doing some reasoning on 99.5, the mix-up radio station. You don't know, guys. You don't know what to expect in life. Yes, the weather's perfect if you want to live on. It doesn't make it any better, right? Because you're still homeless. You're still living out there. And the saddest part about it is like, these people have families. They have families. What happened to their families? Like, nobody cares about them anymore. Imagine waking up outside, nowhere to turn, nobody to call, no access to anything. You can't even shower, right? And it's like your family just forgot about you. It's almost seems like life is meaningless at that point. And that's when you turn to substance abuse. That's when you turn to all other types of things that you wouldn't regularly go down. You know what I mean? Bye for now. Okay, Ramo, you take care. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. And you have a wonderful day, my sister, okay? And thank you for stopping by the Mix Up Radio Station 99.5. Guys, don't take things for granted. As much as you think you're not doing well, or you're down and out, there's people off dealing with way more stuff than you're dealing with. So most family cares, but once they get out there, they don't want anyone's help. Most they have mental illness. I know, and the thing about the mental illness is they really don't know what to do, and I don't even think they even realize that they have a problem. I know, I don't get it. I would never let my family member live on the streets. You say that now, Desert, but the problem is if they have mental issues to the point that they're not safe to be in your home for their own safety or your family's safety or your kids' safety, you might have no choice, right? That's the hard part. Some people have to make that decision to say, listen, you can't stay with me because you're acting all crazy. And I got a daughter in here. I got a son in here. I don't want anything to happen to my family, right? So it's a tough decision. A part of their brain telling them they don't deserve to have a good life. True, the boss way. Yes, the boss way. When somebody presents a danger, even if it's a family member or not, and they're in your home, and they're not in their right mind, is it safe to have them around your family? Yes, there would be exceptions. Absolutely. Right? Because you don't want to put your family in harm's way because one family member is mentally not capable of assessing, life's simple situations, and, is throwing fits, temper tantrums, or is delusional, or is seeing things. You have to ask yourself, just popping in, my sleep is all messed up on the West Coast, but body and sleep is still in the East Coast time. Hey Q, we know what it feels like, man. I appreciate you guys for this being here and this listen to me rant, if that's considered a rant, right? I don't take anything for granted, guys. I'm telling you, man. I know what it's like. I've been there. I've lived on the street before. I've hit rock bottom. But you know what? I didn't give up. I found a way to build myself back up. The Boss Way says, for example, let me bring the song back. It's a nice little vibe. The Boss Way says, for example, my sister told me that I only give her to show off, and I say that I did something. Hold on a second. I have never asked her for anything or to do anything for me. I know it was her mental illness talking. Yeah. And that's the thing about mental illness, is they're not in their right mind. Even some of the stuff that they're saying, I don't think they're aware, right? And imagine that. Still hurts, but that's how her mind works. Same here. I'm on West Coast time also, 2:30 a.m. It's 5:30 a.m. here in Toronto, Canada. Yeah, it is sad, but the Boss Way is right. Like, it's almost like they're not here physically and mentally. They're somewhere else. Their brain is somewhere else. And it's not their fault, right? If it's something that's happened mentally in their brain that is not processing information, you can't even blame them. But at the same time, if they're presenting a danger because they're not in their right mind, it's a tough decision you have to make if they can be around your family, right? It's a tough decision. As much as you love them, just put it that way, I wouldn't want to make that choice. I wouldn't want to be the one to make that choice and say, listen, you can't stay here anymore. I know you're my son, I know you're my daughter, but something's completely wrong with you. I've tried to get you help. You don't want any help. Meanwhile, all this talking you're doing, they're not processing because they don't understand. You understand? They don't understand what you're saying. And then they go out there, you leave them out there, next thing they're on the street and they're living on the street, not knowing when they're going to get a meal to eat. Nobody's reaching out to them, and after a while they'll feel forgotten. They'll feel like, you know what? This is my life now. They won't even be able to process that. They're just thinking about survival. What can I do to get food next? What can I do to go have a shower? Or something simple, that stuff that we forgot about. I had to walk away from the hurt. I would never give my time or money to anyone for show, and especially if it's is it done out of love. Wow, I know. It is a tough decision, guys. You know another tough decision? When a doctor tells you you have a choice. You can either pull the plug on this person or continue to pay this insurance money while they sit here knowing that there's no way they're going to make it. Right? Draining your finances, draining your savings. It's crazy. I was on the streets at 15 years old. In 2 months I slept on the streets. Wow. On the steps of a club in a mass. My friend's mom found and took me in. Wow, Desert. I did not know that. I was on the road. I was on the streets at 15 too. I left home at 15. That is crazy. Desert. See? And look where you are now. That's why I say don't regret anything. I have never had that choice, but I can certainly imagine the hurt. Imagine the hurt. The doctor says to you, your loved one is here, but they're not physically here anymore. It's either they're brain dead. It's either we pull the plug and, call it a day, or we keep it running. And indirectly, they're telling you to say that we'll just keep collecting your money knowing that this person's not going to make it. Draining your savings, draining every money you save for your future. And these people are going to tell you, pull the plug now or we'll just continue to use your money. You go, me in tears. You got me in tears, Desert Living. I'm so sorry you had to endure that in your life. May God continue to wrap his loving arms around you. Yes, I gotta appreciate where I am now. That's all I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying, my friend. Right? As simple as it is, don't regret anything that you've been through. You are who you are now because of what you've been through. Thank you, the boss way. Yeah, man. We've all been through some stuff, and I'm sure we all got stories to tell, but I did not know that about you, Desert. Thank you for being able to just put that out there. And wow, as a female living on the street like that, it's even a harder situation. It's even harder, okay? That is wild. I'm glad I was able to talk to you guys this morning. That actually makes me feel good. Thank you very much, Nina. I think that was uplifting for me as well. Sometimes when you get in these conversations, you never know what's going to happen or how people are going to take, what people are going to take away from the conversation. But this is real. This is real to me. Right? I just wanted to come on live randomly and look what it's turned out to be. An emotional conversation about life and where we're headed. You can't change people's life, but you can at least add something to it and let them think about it before they go down the wrong path. Man, I feel better. Thanks so much. Desert, thank you for letting us in, for opening that door. Coming up here like this, you opened the door and said, come on in, let's talk. And we sat down and we said, all right, here's a coffee, here's a tea, here's a biscuit, let's talk. It's hard to watch, and if they're adults, there's not much you can do. Yes, because that is their decision. It is their decision, Q. But it hurts when it's family. It hurts especially when it's family, and you've done everything as a parent, everything possible as a parent. Nothing wrong, by the way. You provided a home, you provided food, you provided a nurturing, loving home. You got them ready for school, you watched them grow up, and at some point something changed. Something changed. They're not the same son or daughter that you remember. Something up here just clicked and changed who they were. And you have to sit there crying every night, wondering what you did wrong. Even though you did nothing wrong. Right, you did all you can. Exactly. And you're just watching the demise and the breakdown and watching them go downhill. And you're blaming yourself for every single thing, but it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Sometimes life just has a way of doing things. Like I know a few people that are not up there anymore, you understand? And we all grew up together and there was nothing wrong with them at first. And I always wonder what happened. What changed? Life is tough, can be beautiful, but mostly rough. Yes. Right? Something snapped up there, and A couple of my friends are no longer even, I don't even think they're on this planet anymore. I don't mean physically, I mean mentally, right? And spiritually, I don't think they're here anymore. But they're physically here in body. So, all I'm saying is just, don't take things for granted, guys. I'm telling you right now, appreciate the stuff that you've been through, good or bad. Take it as a learning lesson moving forward and cherish those moments for every little bit that it is. It's not pretty out here. And don't think that life is fair, guys. It's not fair. There's so much mental illness these days. It's very sad. It is. It is. I'm telling you. It is really sad. You know how hard it is to see a mother and a daughter standing on a curb with a sign that says they need help. And you know, every time they pull up to your car, they're asking for money and stuff like that. You don't know if you're being swindled or if they really need the help. But it's just sad, period. I have a close family member who is spiraling down. I can't figure out what happened to her, and I cannot keep giving her money. Hurts to step back and say no. Oh my God, Q. And that's exactly what we're talking about, right? It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It is a very difficult situation, guys. And I'm glad we were able to have this conversation this morning. This kind of brought some light to my eyes today. And I really appreciate everything that you guys are saying. I really do. Oh my God, 60 plus. Yeah, I know that's... And she's not the only one. She's not the only one in that situation. I'm sure there's a lot of other people out here who want to help, but they feel after a while they're being taken advantage of, or they feel like what they're doing is not helping enough. Right? It is a very scary situation. That's all I can say. And it's very disheartening, and it saddens me that there's not much you can do to help somebody who could really use the help. You understand? Sorry, 1 second, guys. I'm just searching for something. One day at a time, the boss way. I know the boss way. You should make a song called "One Day at a Time," and just put your heart into it, because I know you got that talent to make that crazy music.